Guys, Batman Aquaman 13 here, and this is my custom LEGO Justice League minifigure showcase. And Justice League is coming out today, and I'm not gonna go see it sadly, but maybe sometime I'll be able to see it. But anyways, guys, the figures I have for this movie showcase is my custom LEGO Aquaman, Flash, Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. And guys, I'm sorry I don't have like every single Justice League member. I am missing Cyborg. I promise you, he is in the works, but he's not going very good, and I really didn't want to present you guys a bad figure and rush it. I really wanted to take my time with it and make it good, and then maybe showcase it with maybe a Steppenwolf if I ever make one. But anyways, guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and get straight into this minifigure showcase. Okay guys, so here is the first minifigure, and this is my custom LEGO Wonder Woman from the Justice League movie. So yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get straight into this minifigure. So starting off with the legs, this whole entire figure, by the way, is actually the official Wonder Woman minifigure that I just updated heavily. And let's go back to the legs. So the legs, again, are the official LEGO Wonder Woman figure legs that I use for this figure, and I think it was a good choice to use them because it had some print on there that was still really good, and I basically just did all the gold details that doesn't look like Lego gold was painted on there. The brown straps were painted over the gold highlights, which I was not happy about doing that because that was very tedious. And then the dress piece, I'm still waiting on updating that dress piece a little bit, but it is made out of cloth, Lego cloth to be exact, and I think that came out pretty good as well. Again, I really like how it came out, but I'm really going to update it soon, hopefully. But yeah, so that's going to be it for the dress piece. Now going on to the sword, the God Killer sword, if I can get a good look at it. Right here is just a standard Wonder Woman sword that came in this set, and I just painted that up a bit and made it more like the God Killer sword, but it's not exactly like accurate, but I used what I had, and that's what I had. And going on to the lasso, which is probably what you guys are wondering about, this is actually just literally some material that I found in my room someday, and I did not know where it came from, and I decided, oh my god, this is perfect for a Wonder Woman lasso. And if you guys want a more in-depth tutorial, a more in-depth minifigure showcase of this figure, I have a Wonder Woman minifigure showcase up from that movie when it came out. But anyways, it's just that material, and I literally just tied a knot at the end of it to make it a loop, to make it more like a lasso, and then also tied a knot so she can actually hold on to it. So that's really it for that. The hairpiece is the same Wonder Woman hairpiece that I sanded down just so I could actually, you know, rotate her arms without the hairpiece popping off or something. And so that's what I did with that. It straps out the back if I can get her hairpiece off right there. Or you can see more of the straps continuing. These are 3D straps. I actually used construction paper for, cardstock paper to be exact. But you can also see the double-sided expression face, whatever you would call it. But yeah, it's also pretty cool as well. The gauntlets are painted as well. I painted the gold highlights of it, and I think that came out pretty good. So basically everywhere that was silver before is basically now gold. On the gauntlets, as you guys can see, I painted some gold highlights. It all was silver, but for some tedious work, I was able to get all of that on there. If you guys can see it at all, I'm trying to get closer here. It's not focusing. Here we go. It's coming in now. Okay. Okay. It's coming. There you go. So basically, my camera is crap. No, but basically, as you guys can see here, I painted some gold highlights onto those gauntlets because they all were silver before, but now they are some silver and gold, which are supposed to be brown on there too, but I was not going to do more work because I still had, you know, every other figure in the showcase. But anyways, guys, it's taken long enough to review her. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get straight on to the minifigure showcase. Okay, so here is the next minifigure, and this is my custom LEGO Aquaman. And guys, this figure turned out really good. I literally finished this guy right before I started this video, and he came out amazing. I gotta say, I really like this figure. I really like how it turned out. So yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get straight in this minifigure. Starting off with pretty much the basic idea behind this. The entire thing was without a scratch. The head is printed and the hairpiece is printed slightly, but literally everything else is by scratch. Everything else you see here is by scratch. The torso starting off with a black torso, the legs starting off with the black legs, arms starting off with black arms. So just imagine a completely black torso, arms, legs. The hands are peach, but that's about it. Literally everything else was completely by scratch, and I didn't want to customize Lego's official torso because it was crap. And also wanted to have a sculpted torso on mine, which I'll get into that later. But anyways, the legs, sculpted the legs for the boots a little bit just to give it a bit more of a lift. And then the legs have this like really cool pattern right here, and they're airbrushed, weathered. Well, actually not airbrushed. They are. I gave it a bunch of washes of this black, watered down black, and then that was pretty cool. It has this really cool pattern here where it has all of the just this fish scale pattern, and I really like how that came out as well. Also, you guys can see down in the boots they have a bunch of dots right here. That was very tedious to do. The boots are very heavily washed with some black. They were originally pearl gold, and I really like how that came out as well. Again, has their own detailing as well there. And then the knee pads right here are out of electrical tape. I didn't get around to doing the belt yet. I will probably do that soon after this video. But just to get this video out on time, I wasn't able to complete every single individual detail on every single figure. So Superman has the arms not detailed yet. Flash still have to do the wiring, and Aquaman, as you guys can see here, haven't done the belt buckle or the belt and some other details with his gloves. But nonetheless, he's basically finished. The torso, guys. The chest right here is sculpted a little bit with some clay, and then painted, also carved in some lines just to give it more of that fish scale pattern again, and also painted black lines just to give it more of a fish scale pattern as well, and then some also gold highlights on the torso as well, and then I gave it that black wash, same as everything here. And then the arms here, as you guys can see, I sculpted the shoulder pads and also the little wrist guards wherever he has on there. The shoulder pads both sculpted. I think they came out pretty accurate towards each other, and it looks pretty symmetrical, I think. And again, the legs have the same fish scale pattern going all the way around. I think that came out pretty well, pretty great as well. Again, no back detailing because I didn't know exactly what the back looked like. And also the hairpiece, even the hairpiece I weathered with a black wash just to make it more oily because he's been in the water, and just to make it more like, I don't know, just give it some detail and depth, and I think that looks really nice, and it looks a lot darker like to his suit. And also on the chest right here I painted some silver. The hairpiece, however, is the standard hairpiece that I sanded a crap ton off the front just so I could actually fit the chest on there, and then also that little like indentation, not indentation, but the things that stick out from the chest right there are with E-tape, and then I painted a gold line on each of those. The beard is actually with a Hagrid beard from the Harry Potter sets, that like hair and beard combo, that huge thing. I actually cut the beard off that and trimmed it to my liking, and then glued it to the hairpiece, so something dropped. So anyways, you can take off the hairpiece. It actually takes off the head, but I will take off the hairpiece right now. It's actually like a combo right here, so right there the beard is glued to the hairpiece, so you guys can, you know, take that off and do as you please, whatever, and you can still have, you know, the head still left over, and I will give the second expression. And that's the only reason why I wanted to do this, because the head had I can't even talk. The head had a separate expression, and so you can also make it with that expression as well. So anyways, guys, that's about it for this figure. Also, Trident is made with an official Trident, and then right here in the middle spokes are with some plastic card, and that's about it for this figure, guys. So yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and move on to the rest of this minifigure showcase. Okay, so here is the next minifigure, and this is my custom Lego Ezra Miller Flash. And guys, as you guys can see, this is probably one of the best figures I've ever made, and one of the best figures in this showcase, and pretty much same goes to all these figures. They're really good, and some of the best figures I've ever made, and I just really like how these figures came out. But Flash is a very good figure as well, and probably one of the best out of the showcase. But yeah, so starting off with the legs. The legs right here have been through some different variations, and I've painted black lines on them and different things. But yeah, so anyways, the legs are started off with some just standard red legs with a black crotch piece that can't even talk today, and then I painted on some gold lightning bolts right here, as you guys can see, on the thighs, and then on the side of the thighs, and then also on the shoes, which actually was kind of a reference to me in a way, as like some Nike shoes, but instead of the Nike logo, it was the lightning bolts. I thought it was pretty cool. And also some boot detailing I do with pretty much all my figures on the boots right there, and then also for the knees right there, these are metal right here, the knee guards or knee pads or whatever you guys want to call them. Those were done with just a hole puncher and hole punch some metal, and that's what I got, and I really like how it came out, and also some black highlights going around there as well, all around the legs right there, and then also some black lines going around the torso and the legs as well, but I'm on the legs right now. Going around the legs, black lines, very thin, very tedious to do, but finally was able to do that. And then the torso, oh my gosh, has been through variations upon variations, and this one I think is the best one so far. The previous one made him a little fat, and I didn't really like it. I mean, you might even say he looks a little fat now, but he looked pretty fat, and it wasn't a good look, and I didn't like how it looked, and I just wasn't pleased with it, so I resculpted everything. The last one was pretty much done with some metal, and I didn't like it very much because it was too boxy looking, and the chest didn't pop out as much as I would like it to. So yeah, I did this, and I think it came out really good. Really like how this one came out. As obviously you guys can see, it's mostly sculpted instead of the old one, which was mostly metal. The only parts that are metal on this is the lower torso right here. The only square looking thing right there is the crotch piece, and a bit above that, and then also the two lower ab torso parts right there. I don't even know what to call them. Also on the crotch piece, some lightning bolt details. And then the arms have some sculpting elements as well on there. It has basically I sculpted little balls and just stuck them to the tops of the arms, the shoulders right there. And then also some painted gold elements around the torso, and also that lightning bolt right there. I used a hole punch some electrical tape, and then I painted the electrical tape white, and then sculpted the lightning bolt over that. And then also that little like pattern right there on his torso, chest right there, was sculpted as well. And then again, the hands right here were done with some peach hands that I painted black onto, and I think it turned out really good. And then also some plain red highlights as well, just to make it look a little brighter. I think it came out really great. The head, now you're probably wondering, the head, oh my gosh, how did you get the head? Now, people are using the official Lego cowl that was in the Riddler Racer set, or whatever it was called. I think it was the Riddler Dragster set. People are using that one for their Flash. People are using the new one for their Flash. Some people are sculpting their own. This is my own design. This was done with the same hairpiece. If you guys have seen my Flash cowl tutorial, go check that out. If you guys have seen that, you guys know exactly what I did. But basically, I took a Lego hairpiece and I sculpted around that and made a Flash cowl. And then I basically, obviously, made it into the design that Ezra Miller's Flash cowl was in. And also painted these little lines back here, and then these little like lightning bolts on his ears. They are not sculpted, they are with metal, and I think it came out pretty good as well. Now the head I used was a Rebel Soldier, not a Rebel Soldier, an Imperial General I think was, and it came in the battle pack with Stormtrooper Battlefront battle pack. Anyways, used that head, and I think it came out pretty good as well. I think it came out, you know, pretty accurate, pretty good to his likeness of Ezra Miller, and I think it came out pretty good. The back is sculpted, painted the black lines. Basically, it gives it a little lift, and also I carved in those black lines while sculpting it, so that was pretty cool. And yeah, so that has to be it for Ezra Miller Flash. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get on to the next minifigure. Okay, so here is the next minifigure, and this is my custom Lego Ben Affleck Batman. And guys, this figure looks really nice in my opinion. So yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get straight into this minifigure. So starting off with the legs, started off with I think it was double molded, I'm not sure if it was or not, but anyway, started off with some gray legs, and then painted the boots on right there, and also some lines across the legs as well. And obviously the dotted pattern with basically just some gunmetal dots all the way around the torso, arms, legs, and everywhere pretty much that was gray. Did this dotted pattern. I think it came out really great. My favorite part about this is probably the lines of the dotted pattern. It just looks really great. It makes it give it like a Kevlar type feel to it. Just gives it that pattern look that is seen in the movie, and then also gave it some more highlights on the boots, just because it looked a little plain without them. Those gray lines right there on the boots as well. New gauntlets, because they didn't get around to doing that because it's just time restraints because of my job and everything like that, and making other figures for this showcase. So I decided, you know, just kind of do a good job on every figure instead of doing a perfect job on like 2 figures. So that was my plan for this, and I think it came out pretty good. Now the shoulders and the torso is sculpted with this muscle sculpt, and the arms as well. As you guys can see, the arms are sculpted everywhere, and then yeah, as you guys can see, the arms are sculpted, and then also on the top shoulder right there, you guys can see that little thing that sticks out is the shoulder pads, and those are with electrical tape. And then yeah, so the cowl is a sanded down version of the official Batman cowl that they're using pretty much every set now. But yeah, that was the official Batman cowl that I sanded down. And the head is a standard Aquaman head, believe it or not, that I basically just made my own mouth to and put the eyes in the correct places so the cowl would look as good as that. And yes, so that's pretty much it. And then the Batman symbol was painted on. I was about to do electrical tape, but I didn't want to. The belt is the Lego Movie Batman belt. And then also, if I can lift the cape up, you guys can see I was going to use the Ben Affleck Batman torso, but I decided not to. And you guys can see that I glued the back of the belt on there as well. Now the belt isn't what you might think. I just glued it. I cut the thing off because it gave it too much of a lift to this figure, and I cut that off, and then I just glued it to the crotch piece, and I think it looks a lot better. And yeah, so that's about it. The cape is with electrical tape that I made my own electrical tape cape out of. I think it came out pretty good as well. Now he does have a double-sided expression, but I didn't paint the eyes on the other side of the head, so that is about it for this figure, guys. Again, the dotted pattern looks really great. I really like how it came out. Also, if you look at the arm, there's more line work going across the torso as well. And yeah, so I will do a future update to this figure. I will definitely give him some gauntlets. And yes, that's about it. There's not too much going on with this figure. This is why I'm not spending so much time on showcasing him. But yeah, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get straight on to ending this figure showcase off. Okay, so here is the last minifigure, and this is Superman. So yeah, without further ado, let's go and get straight into this minifigure showcase. So starting off with the legs, these are the Man of Steel legs, and basically I just painted it up and painted it the right color scheme, and also I painted the boots as well. I think that looks pretty good as well. I really like the legs, how they came out. And guys, sorry for the lighting in advance. It is going to get pretty dark, and I'm really sorry, but this figure does not work well with the lights, and this is probably why I'm going to put this as the last shot of the video and make it as quick as possible, but you guys can still kind of see the figure. And yeah, so the torso is sculpted with a muscle sculpt, and also did the lines as well, and then also the belt is a bit sculpted as well. If you guys can see, these little gold parts on the front of the torso are sculpted, and then also on the belt buckle in the middle, that is a electrical tape and then painted gold. And then the Superman logo is with electrical tape as well, as you guys can see, and I really think that looks really good with that Superman logo. I think it looks pretty good. I really think I did a good job painting that, and probably just one of the best paint jobs on a logo I've ever done ever. I really like how it came out. And then the head is the official Lego Superman head that came in like the first Superman set, I think, like 2012, I think. And then I just have the standard laser eyes in the back. Obviously, you know, every Superman has that. The cape is something I really like, and the cape is electrical tape cape, but I really did this technique where I put some folds on the back, and it made it look like it was all wrinkled and folded and really cool. I really like how it looks and stuff like that. So torso, muscle sculpt, the arms have a muscle sculpt as well. Really like how that came out as well, and then just painted with the standard my Lily color that I picked for this figure, which was like a metallic dark blue. I really like how that came out. And then, like, yeah, so that's pretty much about it for this. Also, I sanded down the hairpiece as well, which was the standard hairpiece that was also on my sig fig as well. And it has like that messy look to it, but I sanded it down to make it more clean and brushed, and like his hair actually is in the movie, if he's even in the movie. But anyways, guys, that has to be it for Superman. So yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and end this video off.